In a quiet village surrounded by pine-covered hills, there stood a small workshop, where an old craftsman named Eldrin made pencils by hand. His pencils were known far beyond the valley, not for their beauty, but for how true they wrote. Each pencil he carved carried something special. Before placing them into their small wooden boxes, Eldrin whispered a few words to each one. That morning, a young apprentice named Lior stood beside him, watching curiously. "Master Eldrin," he asked, "why do you talk to the pencils?" The old man smiled. "Because every pencil must know its purpose before it begins its journey." Eldrin picked up a newly finished pencil, smooth and fragrant with cedar wood. "Listen carefully, Lior," he said. "These pencils are more than sticks of graphite and wood. They carry 5 lessons that, if you understand, will guide not only how you write, but how you live." He held up the pencil, as if it were sacred. "Here's the first lesson. No matter how skilled the pencil may be, it can do nothing without the hand that guides it," Eldrin said softly. "In life, you too will need to remember your talents are gifts, but something greater always guides your path. Call it God, destiny, or purpose. Never let pride make you forget the hand that moves you." Lior nodded thoughtfully. He had always believed that success belonged only to effort. But Eldrin's words planted a new seed, that humility gives direction to skill. Eldrin took a small knife and began to sharpen the pencil. Each scrape made a faint whispering sound. "The second lesson," he continued, "is that every pencil must endure sharpening. Only then can it write clearly. Likewise, every person must face pain and challenge to grow. Without them, you stay dull and useless." Lior winced as he watched the knife shave away layers of beautiful wood. "But master," he asked, "doesn't it hurt the pencil?" Eldrin chuckled. "It does. But pain, when endured with purpose, becomes the shape of strength." Eldrin broke the tip slightly, revealing the dark graphite core. "See this," he said. "The pencil's true value lies not in its outer shell, but in the graphite within. You may polish the outside all you want, but if what's inside is weak, the pencil cannot write." He looked directly into Lior's eyes. "So too, in life, your outer appearance may shine, but it's your heart, your integrity, your thoughts that write your story." Lior felt something stir in his chest. He thought of his vanity, how often he'd cared more for how others saw him than for who he truly was. Eldrin reached for an eraser and pressed it gently against a word he'd written. "Watch closely," he said. "The pencil is paired with an eraser for a reason. It reminds us that mistakes are not the end, they are opportunities to begin again." He rubbed until the page was clean. "Never fear errors, Lior. Fear the arrogance that refuses to admit them. A person who forgives himself can write a better next line." The apprentice smiled. He had often torn up pages when he made mistakes. For the first time, he understood. Perfection was not in never erring, but in never quitting. Finally, Eldrin placed the pencil on the table and ran his wrinkled fingers over a sheet filled with faint writing marks. "The last lesson," he said, "is that every pencil leaves a trace. You cannot touch a surface without changing it even slightly. Every word you write, every choice you make leaves a mark on the world and on others." He paused, his voice warm yet solemn. "So write carefully, Lior. Live intentionally. Leave marks of kindness, not scars of regret." Years passed. The old craftsman grew frail, and one winter morning, the workshop stood silent. Lior, now grown into a fine craftsman himself, found the last pencil Eldrin had ever carved. On its side, faintly engraved were the words, "Let your life write gently upon the world." That evening, as the first snow fell outside, Lior placed the pencil in his hand and began to write, not to impress, but to express. Each line carried a trace of the master's lessons, and every word felt alive. Like a pencil, life must be shaped, sharpened, guided, and used with intention. Your mistakes do not define you. Your willingness to learn from them does. And the marks you leave behind are the story of your soul.